Brand new for 2025 is this. It's the 892 BT from Mucar, and it's going to replace the old V08 that we reviewed last year as Mucar's flagship scanner. This uses the same hardware as the ThinkCar 689 BT, which you've seen in a lot of videos, but it's got something new up its sleeve: AI. That's right, the software is brand new. Some of it's still in beta, and we're going to go over that in just a moment. But if you haven't seen the ThinkCar yet, let's go over some of the hardware so you know what this thing is made of. The new 892 has a full-color, 8-inch, high-resolution touchscreen. It's slim and lightweight, but it doesn't skimp on features like this kickstand, which is an absolute must-have on scanners. Plus, one of my favorite features, this exclusive magnetic dongle that sticks right to the back of the unit, and it holds secure. The simple design continues up top with a single power button and a USB-A and a USB-C port for data transfer and for charging. The 4150 milliamp hour battery lasted me about 8 hours of use. I drained it down here to about 6% and I wanted to time the charging on it. 3 hours later and it's fully charged. Thanks to Mukar for providing this scanner to review. So other than color, the hardware is the same between these two tablets, but the software is different. So gone is the cartoon ape on the user interface on the ThinkCar, and they've replaced it with sort of a generic technician on here, but it's also customizable. So let me customize mine. We're going to go to settings, universal, hit wallpaper. Now I've got some wallpaper stored that I think you're going to love. I love it. I think it looks great. It's actually me opening the ThinkCar scanner, which is an homage back to the ThinkCar. Credit where credit is due, so I think that looks pretty dang good. What do you think? So yeah, the software is more customizable. I really like that. Plus, something that we've all been waiting for, on the Bluetooth version of this tablet, you get the car's voltage, the battery voltage, on the screen at all times. Right there at the top, it'll let you know how your car is doing. And I tell you what, it has saved me a few times already looking at a car with a bad battery and not knowing it until I see this. It's really, really helpful. But the elephant in the room, what we gotta talk about is the AI in this thing. There's two ways to access the AI. Number one is once you do a health report or a system scan, AI is going to be one of the options that you can choose to get more information on the code that you're looking at. The way it's always worked, when you scan a car, you get a list of codes, and then at the bottom you can have a Google search, which you can hit, and it'll tell you some information that's picked up on Google about that code. A lot of times it'll list videos that you can watch and whatever else Google could come up with, just like a normal search engine. But now they've added another button, which is Ask AI. You can ask AI the same search query about that code that you've got, and it's going to give you an entire list of things to look for and possible solutions to fix your problem. Now that's pretty new. Now Mucar's AI is powered by DeepSeek, but what they're trying to do is focus just on automotive problems. Now I mentioned that there's two ways to access the AI. The first one is when you do a code scan, you can search at the bottom of the code. The second way is it's got its own tab called MuAI. When you click on that MuAI, you've got this anime character and a text prompt. Just type in your question, really any question, and it's going to come up with the best answer it can find to solve your problem. So I tested it and I told the AI that my car has a misfire. And what it came back with was really pretty amazing. It was an entire list of things to check for, a list of conditions that would cause a misfire, and some possible solutions once you find where it's at. Now I think it could take just about anybody and almost hold you by the hand step by step through that process to find a misfire in your car. So that's where MuAI really shines. It's able to give you a really good description and sort of a flow chart on solving problems that are pretty common, or on looking at codes that are pretty common, like P0300 or P0420 or something like that. Now there's a lot of codes out there that are manufacturer specific, and some of them don't even have like a code definition already written into the software, which we normally get something. Some of them don't have anything out there, and that's where the AI struggles, because it has to scrub the web. It has to search the web to find your answer. So anytime in 2025 that we're using AI, including MuAI here on the scanner, it's best to remember that we're going to need to trust but verify. AI is really good. It's very good, but it doesn't get everything right all the time. Plus, there's a lot of information that it doesn't yet have access to because there's a paywall that's out in front of that. So that means we still need to supplement our AI diagnostics with service information, either from a third-party service information provider, like AllData or Mitchell or something like that, or go directly to the manufacturer and get it from them. This really is a solid unit from Mucar. I've used and abused this thing for about a month now. I've had it drop onto the concrete floor from about this high when a car started. It kind of vibrated off. That was dumb. And it's been doused in gasoline when I was doing a fuel pressure test. So it's been used and abused, but it's still going strong, which is impressive, but I finally got it to crash. I plugged it into a car and I started scanning it. It was able to read the VIN and determine what kind of car it was, but I couldn't scan any of the modules. It just crashed and it had to restart. Now, tech support got right on the case. They were asking engineers what they thought of the problem, and they recommended that I turn off the Wi-Fi to see if that would solve the problem, and like magic, it did. If I turned off the Wi-Fi, it was able to scan the car, but I wasn't sure why. So Mucar came out with a patch for it, and I was hoping that this update would actually fix this one, but it didn't. I still couldn't scan anything if this was hooked up to Wi-Fi, so we had to dig a little bit deeper, and we finally figured out the problem, and it's my fault. Turns out, sitting on the couch and watching YouTube videos on this thing like it's a tablet or a TV, it's kind of not made for that, but it's what I was doing. I spent a couple of days doing that. I just, instead of looking at my phone or my computer, I was using this as a tablet. Kind of strange, but that's what I did. And it started getting slower, as I recall. Now that I think back on it, you click a button or an icon or something like that, and it took just a little bit longer to get that thing loaded up. So I think what happened was the cache was really filling up with a lot of junk software from all over the internet, wherever I was, and that slowed it down. So what I did was just a hard reset, a factory delete, basically. I scrubbed it all off. Once we got it back to the original factory software, got all the updates in it, it works just fine now as a scanner. So I wouldn't recommend using this as a replacement for your computer or your phone. That's what phones are for. This is a good scanner, which means you have access to thousands of different car models out there, including your Stellantis products. If you have a 2018 or newer Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge vehicle, you have to pay to play. Something called AutoAuth. You have to pay an annual subscription to them to be able to access all the modules on your car. I know it sucks. It's not Mucar's fault. That's all Chrysler's decision. It's about 130 bucks or so, but you can buy it directly from the tool. So just follow those prompts, give them your credit card number, and you're good for another year. I'm glad Mucar makes it easy for you, and I'm also glad that Mucar doesn't charge you an annual fee for their updates. Lifetime free updates on this tool, which is super, super good to have. I'm going to call this a prosumer level tool. So it's got everything that a pro would use on a scan tool, including bidirectional control. It's got ECU coding, it's got 34 different resets, and it's got DOIP, which is pretty cool. It's the ability for someone else to take control of your scanner and help you out. So there's services that do that, or if you know a mechanic or someone that's helpful, they can go on their computer and control your scanner remotely and help you diagnose a car. That's really helpful. And that uses TeamViewer, which gave me remote access by downloading the free software on my computer. Gave me remote access to the scanner, which is pretty cool. So anyone in the world can access your scanner and help you out on your diagnostics. Last year, I loved to recommend the ThinkCar 689BT because it's such a well-rounded tool for both do-it-yourselfers and professionals, and it was such a great value. This year, Mucar has just stepped it up a notch, so there's no reason not to recommend this for 2025. So if you're ready to get started, I've left a link down below to the product page for the Mucar. It'll tell you everything you need to know and get you the best deal on your new scan tool. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.